ክቡራትና ክቡራን የቻናላችን ተከታታዮች ፊልሙን ለመስራት ከፍተኛ ወጪ እንዳወጣንበት ከስራው መረዳት ትችላላችሁ። በመሆኑም ሁሉንም ፊልም በተከታታይ እንድናደርሳችሁ ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ የደወል ምልክቱን በመጫን ወጫችንን መሸፈን እንድንችል አግዙን። እናመሰግናለን። በውጭ ሀገር የምትገኙ ኢትዮጵያውያን ልጆቻችሁ አማርኛ ቋንቋ በደንብ መጠቀም እንዲችሉ ፊልሙን ተጠቀሙበት። አስኳላ ልጆን በቤቱ የሚያስተምሩበት ማስጠኛ ፊልም።
Okay, welcome to the teaching learning process again. I am Takastai Ekulu. We started the lesson in the before. Now, let's proceed it. Today we will see on quantifiers. It's on page 6. It said grammar. Even though it's not saying quantifier, it's the grammar topic which leads us to talk about quantifiers. First, let me give you a short note. Quantifiers are words that are used to tell and answer number. So the first definition to you is quantifiers are words that are used to telling and answer the number, the quantity of something. Now, what do you say? Number. What's number? We will ask again ourselves. So, the number can be either countable or uncountable. Uncountable. This is countable and uncountable. Now we are dealing with quantifiers. At the beginning we said quantifiers are words that are used to telling, answering how much or how many. That's number. When you say number, these numbers can be either countable or uncountable. Now, if you define this word, if we say quantifiers are words that are used to tell and answer a number, and after that, from this definition, when we see what number is, the number can be either countable or uncountable. So, what are these quantifiers? Some examples of quantifiers. Some examples of quantifiers are the following. The first, much money. We'll see its use again. Second, number 2, a few. On the other, this says, in this grade level, you should know that a little, little. And we have again another quantifiers like a lot of, plenty of, some, any, and let's see. This is not recommended for grade 3 students, but for this grade level, we'll see much and with many, a few with few, and a little with little. These are some examples of quantifiers. Now, let's define what is countable and uncountable. Countable nouns are nouns that can be counted. Counted as 1, 2, 3, let's say. How many students are there in this classroom? We can say 14, 15, 16, and let's see. So students are what? Countable. Example. For example, examples of what? Countable nouns. For example, teachers, students, doctors, brothers, sisters, babysitters, etc. Yes? That means these countable nouns are nouns that can be counted. For example, we can count the number of chairs in this classroom. We can count the number of windows in this classroom. We can count the number of fluorescences that we have in this classroom. We can count the number of teachers in the school. We can count the number of doctors in the school, in the hospital. We can count the number of babysitters in the school. We can count the number of brothers and sisters we have. So, countable nouns are nouns that can be counted. Understand what countable noun is? Good, students. So, countable nouns are nouns that can be counted. And we have the singular and plural forms of the nouns. We'll see it in this topic in the other lesson. For example, boy, boys, girl, girls, teacher, teachers, babysitter, babysitters, doctor, doctors, brother, brothers. Now we have the singular and plural forms of the countable nouns. So countable nouns are nouns that can be counted as 1, 2, 3. For example, teachers, students, doctors, brothers, sisters, and babysitters. Now, let me give you activity. Activity 1. Write some examples of countable nouns. Don't forget to do this. Good. Can we start with the other one? The next is when you see number, that is uncountable noun. So definition, uncountable nouns are nouns that cannot be counted. Counted. For example, students, can you tell me how many hairs I have in my head? 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you? Tell me how many hairs you have. You can't. So, these kinds of nouns are called uncountable nouns. By the way, uncountable nouns can be counted in terms of containers, in terms of jars in the sea. For example, let me give you some examples. Water. Water is an uncountable noun. You can count this much water. You can say. The other, milk, egg, oil, etc. These all are called uncountable nouns. So, uncountable nouns are nouns that we can count. And we don't have the singular and plural form. For example, this is water, we can say waters. We can say milk, we can say milks. We can say taps. We can say oils. That's why we said these are countable and uncountable nouns. So in short, countable nouns are nouns that can be counted in terms of number, and uncountable nouns are nouns that cannot be what? Counted. So, if you understand this all, let me give you another activity. This is activity 1, this is activity 2. Write some examples of uncountable nouns. Don't forget to do this activity with your family. So, if the concept of countable and uncountable is this one, what is how much? How much? How many? That's it, the first. What was that? This one. Much and many. Much, many. That is how much, how many. How much? How much is used for what kinds of noun? Not countable noun. Uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns. For this one, that means. For example, we can say, example, how much oil do you have? We can say, how many oil do you have? Because oil is uncountable noun. This is example 1. Example 2. How much water do you have? Proceed, go ahead just like that. Yes, these are typical examples of defining how much. So, how much is used to talk about uncountable nouns. The nouns.
ክቡራትና ክቡራን የቻናላችን ተከታታዮች ፊልሙን ለመስራት ከፍተኛ ወጪ እንዳወጣንበት ከስራው መረዳት ትችላላችሁ። በመሆኑም ሁሉንም ፊልም በተከታታይ እንድናደርሳችሁ ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ የደወል ምልክቱን በመጫን ወጫችንን መሸፈን እንድንችል አግዙን። እናመሰግናለን። በውጭ ሀገር የምትገኙ ኢትዮጵያውያን ልጆቻችሁ አማርኛ ቋንቋ በደንብ መጠቀም እንዲችሉ ፊልሙን ተጠቀሙበት። አስኳላ ልጆን በቤቱ የሚያስተምሩበት ማስጠኛ ፊልም